We're live. Happy Friday, guys. Welcome into PuckTime WagerTalk TV. I'm Andrew McInnis, got Carmine Bianco with me, and we're going to break down a handful of games here in the NHL, lead you guys to some winners. And I'll tell you what, as far as Friday slates are concerned, this isn't too bad of one. This is a winnable slate. This is a bettable slate here. Sometimes the Friday slates, we call it Freaky Friday. We call it Getaway Day in the NHL. People are looking forward to Saturday. Guys, this is a pretty decent slate in the NHL for Friday night. Not the most sexy teams, Carm, by any means, but we got some good opportunities here. We're going to break things down. Carm, how was your Thursday, brother? And what games do we have on tap for today?
My Thursday started phenomenal. A 2-0 soccer day. I was the hammer, and then at night I turned into the nail. Andrew, it was like boom, boom. Like this NHL this week it's mainly this week. It's been 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses. Last night it was 2 losses, and if that's what a losing streak is, where you're like 50-50, you're not laying a lot of vig, I can take this small losing streak as a short-term thing and then just move on and try and win. The NFL game last night, because I know some guy asked about my circa picks. Well, all my circa picks went in early because I did take last night's game. I took the Raiders plus 8.5 in the circa millions. So I'm happy to get a check mark in the new month. The new quarter, Andrew. I need the $150,000 so I can keep Visa from the front door, but and Amex and all those other ones. But with that said, man, we had a couple of good games we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Rangers and Red Wings, the Wild and the Islanders. Then a pod play from me. You're going to do a same game parlay. I am going to do the 6 and 60, and then I have a bonus pod play that I've already picked out for Saturday. So we will have 2 pod plays today along with the 6 and 60. How does that grab you, Andrew?
A bonus play. All right. And I saw you kind of confused me there for a second, Carm, because when I was looking at our rundown for today's games we were going over, I was like, does Carm know he's giving out a play for tomorrow? But I knew you knew. And I thought it was a pretty good slate for today. And I guess it wasn't. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you what, I keep talking every day on the show about my enemies. And I'll tell you what, my biggest enemy right now in the NHL has to be the Anaheim Ducks. And I'll tell you what, I was talking with, I think, Dan about this before. Like right now, if you see a team that starts winning, you follow their streaks. Like I swear, casual NHL bettors are probably doing better than people follow this every single day because, the Anaheim Ducks are a pretty good team. Let's start betting them more. Oh, how about those Pittsburgh Penguins? They're doing pretty well this year. Let's bet them a lot more. Like the teams that are hot, you just bet on them. And I guess it proves me wrong to keep going against hot teams. I've kind of slowed down doing it. But then again, last night, I thought it was a damn good spot for the Dallas Stars. And Carm, the one time I don't bet the team total, they lose 7-5. I could have still won my bet, and they lose 7-5. So that one was kind of crappy. But anyway, we got a packed live chat here with us, and they don't want to hear about yesterday. They want to hear about today. Let's move on. Carm?
Yeah, before we do that, it's funny because I'm looking at the chat, and there's a lot of stuff coming in. One guy put the St. Louis, not the delusional guy. We'll get to him in a second. One guy said, the St. Louis Blues and the Buffalo Sabres are on my do not bet list. And my thoughts are, what took you so long? They should have been on your do not bet list a long time ago. The Sabres are predictably unpredictable. When you think they're going to win, they lose. When you think they're going to lose, they win. I don't know what it is with that team. And the St. Louis Blues, they're not, at least right now, they're not as good defensively as they showed last night. I think the Sabres misfired, blew a couple of fuses, and just couldn't get it done. I've got a great stat later on from Ralph Michaels, Stat Daddy, about teams that get shut out in this next game that we're going to talk about. And as far as listen, I've been called many things in my life. Delusional has been one of them as well, too. I'm perfectly fine with that, MM. You should change your name to M&M's because I really like M&M's, but I am just Again, delusional.
I'll step in here, Carm. It's a
The,
Friday,
the
and I'm feeling it.
Canadians, listen, I get it. Listen, you have to understand, I'm taking Canada plus 117. I took them plus 170 to win the gold medal. The team, barring any injuries between now and then, is going to be a stacked team. USA will have their team, but on every major stage, and you can even look at the Four Nations. It was a smaller tournament. The games that mattered, not the knockout, the early games where the USA decided in Canada, hey, let's have like a whole bunch of fights in the first 10 seconds of the game and stir up the crowd. When the medal was on the line, the trophy was on the line, and Canada and the USA met in the finals, Canada won. And that's just plain facts. So with that said, if I have Canada plus 170 and the final is Canada and the USA, Canada is going to be favored over the USA, and I will have a bet on Canada plus 170. If I want to get out of the bet, I can take the USA at plus money and get out of the bet. So it is betting the right number, and the right number on Canada is plus 170. Why would you give that up? And Circa has since dropped it to 155, I believe, right now. So it's gone down 50 cents. Yes, I have had, no, it's an O in there. It's not, you're thinking of Lumen Field in Seattle. It's Limoncello.
I'll put it this way. I literally think that the best players on Team USA wouldn't even be the top 5 players on Team Canada. I don't even think they're going to make the finals in the Olympics. But anyway, that's for another day. You're going to tell me that the Kachuk brothers are the best players on a team? No, thanks. Carm, let's get to the games. We've got the New York Rangers, Detroit Red Wings. You already teased it, but look, I always talk about this strategy of backing a first period over when a team is coming off a shutout. A lot of us in the hockey betting community started doing this last year. This is more of a unique situation because it's not just one team, it's both teams that are coming off a game in which they were shut out. Here's the problem, and this is kind of a big problem. The New York Rangers have been in this position multiple times so far this season, and they haven't come in clutch with going over 1.5 in the first period of their next game. Like, it's hard to get a big sample size for this season with this system if it's been the same team every single time. But both teams haven't played for a couple days. Detroit had that West Coast road trip, ended that one on kind of a stinker, where even though it was 1-0, they still got dominated. Carm, so I do see urgency from both teams. I do like the over in this game here, but I do lean towards the New York Rangers side, actually. For whatever reason, this team has been a much better road team than they have been at home. And maybe it's the teams that they're playing, but whatever it is, the home New York Rangers have been just a different type of team than the road New York Rangers, coming off a shutout, 3-0 loss. Sign me up for the Rangers. And yeah, I got a sprinkle on that first period over 100%.
Man, you keep betting against the Detroit Red Wings, Johnny Detroit's Red Wings, Melissa, Missy, Chris Allen, everyone in the Detroit office. You're going to human resources, and next week we're announcing Dan Alexander as the new co-host on PuckTime. So you might want to be worried there. Andrew, I get the goals part of it, and you look at it, and this comes from Ralph Michaels' Stat Daddy. I love this stat. So since 2006, there's only been 83 games. This will be the 84th game in which both teams are coming off shutout losses. Now, what were the results of those ones? You have to look at the total because you can't really look at the side because both of them are coming off of losses, so it makes no sense. 44, 30, and 9 to the over, 60%. Now, you might think, okay, 60%, not a great stat. Well, when the total is 6 or higher, 79% of the time, the game has gone over the total. 15, 4, and 4. That is a pretty good number. 79%. And it's a nice little sample size as well, too, with 23 games of those 83 games. So I'm taking the over here. I'm taking the Ralph Michaels Stat Daddy play of the day and taking the over 6 in this game, Andrew.
Come on, Carm. I've been on this trend for a year now. You're not going to give me any credit for the trend. Ralph sends you a message, and it's no longer my
Well,
trend
yours is
anymore.
one
Come on.
team. Yours is one team off of a shutout.
True.
Ralph's is
This is
two
both.
teams off of a shutout.
This is the ultimate setup. Both teams. If we see a low-scoring game here, I don't know what to expect after this one. But
I'm going to put on my Patrick Kane jersey tonight and watch this game.
Your Patrick Kane. What about your Mika Zibanejad jersey? Can I get that from you? Do you have? Can I get your Igor
It's full of
Shesterkin
holes.
jersey?
It's full of holes. It's got holes in it, much like the New York Rangers defense tonight, I hope. I think the Rangers probably lose tonight. I'm not going to bet the game. I'm going to take the total in this one. And then the Rangers get their first win of the NHL, their first home win of the NHL season tomorrow night against the New York Islanders. Both teams are on back-to-backs, Andrew. And speaking of the New York Islanders, minus 153 against the Wild, who come off a wild game last night. Congratulations both to the Prez and to Brian Leonard on cashing their 5% plays. Brian with Pittsburgh, Prez with the Canes in regulation. And man, that first period was crazy. 3-2 at the end of the first period in that game. We're going to see Wallstead. They're already confirmed. Wallstead, if I pronounced his name right, for the Wild, and big save Dave Riddick for the New York Islanders. The Islanders are saving Sorokin for tomorrow night. The Rangers goalie tomorrow night is likely to be in that game. Andrew is going to be Jonathan Quick, because I think they're starting Shesterkin tonight. But 126 on the Wild, 153 on the Islanders. Break it down for us.
I'll break it down in this way, Carm, is that I sort of believe the New York Islanders are maybe a team that's benefited off of some good situations that they've been in. And we've started to see them kind of start to leak a little bit here. And then you talk about Sorokin not being the team to start. When you play plus money and you're looking to back a team, look, I understand. I keep on saying I'm not going to go against bad teams or, don't want to step in front of a good team. But the New York Islanders have slowly started to fizzle away, Carm. The 4-3 loss to the Bruins, and they lost 5-2 to the Bruins just last week. And then they had that one goal game against the Islanders and short 1-goal game against the Flyers. Like, this is a team that is starting to kind of revert back to who they probably are a little bit. Like, if you look at their metrics, they were probably overachieving offensively a little bit here. And Minnesota, despite losing yesterday to the Carolina Hurricanes, they still put forward a really good effort. This team found their offense, which is something good to see. They found their offense 5-on-5. The travel's not too bad in this one, I wouldn't say. And they created a ton of chances. So with the backup in play, with the regression I'm starting to see from the Islanders, and with the belief I think this Minnesota team can start stringing wins together, I'm going to go dog hunting. And, I'm not wearing my camo hoodie today, Carm, but it doesn't mean I can't go hunting. And I like the underdog in this one. Not as juicy as it was yesterday, but plus 130 is the price I see at Circa, FanDuel plus 126, Westgate plus 130. I'm interested in the dog in this one. Let's go Wild.
All right, let's go Wild. Well, I like the full game over in this one, Andrew. And I get it's Wallstead. I think Wallstead might be the only goalie in the NHL who is taller than you. Wallstead's pretty tall, as are you. The Prez comes up to your belly button. I think the last time we got together, that's how short the Prez is or how tall you are. But I like the full game over in this one. You look at the 3 games. Wallstead's only played 3 games. 2 of them gone to OT, but 2 of those 3 games have gone over the total. 6-5 against a 6-5 game against the Sharks that he lost, and a 4-3 game against the LA Kings that he lost. A 2-1 victory in regulation over the Philadelphia Flyers. The Islanders are scoring goals. They can score goals at home. So I'm going to go, even though it's a 6.5 of this one, I'm going to take the over in this one. And I'm going to use this game to segue into the pod play for tonight. Yesterday's pod play wins with the Carolina Hurricanes in regulation. And tonight's pod play is going to be the first period in this game. The New York Islanders and the Wild. First period over. And let me just throw a couple numbers at you. The New York Islanders are 5-2 to the over in the first period at home this season. The Wild, they're on the second of a back-to-back, as I mentioned, after that crazy game in Carolina where 5 goals were scored in the first period. They're 4-3 to the first period over on the road. And as I mentioned, 2 backup goalies in goal tonight for these teams. Big save, Dave Riddick. Hopefully he doesn't make any big saves in the first. And Wallstead for Minnesota. Maybe we see a leg-weary team. Islanders have been off a couple of days since totally dominating the Bruins, but losing in a shootout. Let's get some goals in the first period. Over 1.5 first period, minus 140. And let's get that bankroll moving.
All right, Carm. All right.
What do you think?
Okay. I like it. I think it's going to be a game with some pop to it. So I'm up for it. But I'm also going underdog hunting a little bit here in this one. So that's all right. 4-game slate. Not too bad of a day here, Carm, in the NHL. So, but you've got more for us. You've got more for us.
Yeah, but not yet. Speaking of like hunting, did you hunt together a same game parlay for us?
I did, but I'll tell you what, thank God we hit that 10-1 the other day on Monday, because we've been falling short the past couple of days. And I guess I'm picking the wrong teams. Florida yesterday would have been a hell of a good one to look at. Tampa Bay would have been a hell of a good one to look at. But no, I had 2 players on the Ottawa Senators, man. Are you kidding me? On the Ottawa Senators, those guys looked awful against the Boston Bruins. Today, we're going to keep it very, very simple here. This is a plus 349 courtesy of DraftKings here. Winnipeg at San Jose. Look, this Winnipeg team, you want to talk about bounce back. They're coming off a 3-0 loss against the LA Kings. They're going to be motivated. And I always look at it like this. If a team is coming off a big victory and then going to play the Sharks, they might take the Sharks lightly. But if you're coming off a bad loss, little bit of rest, then you get to play the Sharks, they won't take this Sharks team lightly. The Sharks are improved, Carm, but I still think this Winnipeg team, they're kind of the more veterans. They're going to take care of things. Gabe Vilardi up there on the top line, Scheifele on the top line, centering that line. Those 2 guys paired together gets you minus 135. Now, we've got that system play, and Ralph told us not only one team off a shutout, both teams off a shutout, Rangers and Red Wings. We expect action. We expect shots. Adam Fox, number 1 offensive defenseman on the Rangers, over 1.5 shots on goal. And Mika Zibanejad, the guy sniping, the guy scoring, the guy out there on the power play. Let's get at least 1 point from this guy and cash us a parlay to end the week at plus 349. I'll tell you, Carm, I can't believe the only one that's hit this week was the 10-1. Maybe that's a sign, guys, that I go back to juicing these up a little bit more for us here. But plus 350 here, your same game parlay for Friday night. Hopefully you can pay for a few beers or a few smoothies or whatever it is you like to drink. Let's cash this ticket.
Who's having a smoothie? I think that smoothie would be the only thing I would put pineapple smoothies in, because it doesn't belong on pizza, Dan. Dan,
he's flipping you off.
I could just see Dan. Here he comes, the pizza man. There he is.
You like smoothies?
Come on, man. Oh God. The funny thing is, Andrew. Okay, you hit a 10-1, so that's great because that will sustain some of the losses if people are following along, and then you'll get a couple of the smaller ones that are 3-1, 4-1. And you make the same game parlays are always tough. So anyone who's expecting you to every time you post the same game parlay to win, it's unreasonable. But I will say this: I made fun of Mika Zibanejad, saying that his shirt has holes in it. You know what's going to happen tonight, right? Mika Zibanejad is going to score at least 2 goals tonight. So let's do this: Mika Zibanejad 2 or more goals tonight, plus 1700,
Woo, okay.
17 to 1. Put a slice of pizza on Mika, 17 to 1. Come on, man. He can do it. If I'm expecting goals in this game, maybe Mika gets a couple of them, maybe on the power play. We shall see. But
I got to check on something
get,
too, though, Carm. If you're going to get crazy with this, we got to get crazy here on a Friday. How about first goal scorer, Mika Zibanejad? First goal scorer overall in the game, 13 to 1, Mika Zibanejad. That's not bad as well. First goal scorer in the game. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Every time I take a first goal scorer or first touchdown scorer, they end up getting a touchdown or a goal, but it's later in the game. So I just can't hit those. I see people hit them all the time, but you see them posted on the X because only the people who actually won post them. You don't see guys posting, I lost my first touchdown scorer, right? Everyone's a genius on the X. But with that said, I've got, after back-to-back 6 and 60s, where we went 4-2, I've prepared another 6 games for this Saturday's action. And then Andrew will give me a slight break, answer a couple of questions while I prepare for the final pod, the bonus pod for Saturday's action. But then I beat the clock last time. I got a lot of notes this time. I don't think I'm going to beat it this time. But with that said, let's start the clock. This is your 6 and 60. New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Pens almost gave it away at home against the Caps on Thursday. Devils, after a bad road trip, get back home and into the win column where they're a perfect 6-0 this season. New Jersey money line. Nashville, Dallas, Stars money line. Preds, losers of 6 of 7. Dallas 4-1-2 their last 7 and off a bad loss to the Ducks. Rangers and Islanders. Rangers money line. Both teams are off a back-to-back, and the Rangers get a rare and first home win of the season. St. Louis and Seattle over 5.5. Kraken 4-2 to the over on the road. Despite shutting out Buffalo, the St. Louis Blues have defensive issues over 5.5. Toronto and Boston. The days of the Bruins owning the Leafs are over. Leafs puck line in this one. Vegas and Anaheim. Vegas 9-4 to the over first period, 5-2 at home. Ducks 9-4 to the first period over, and 5-3 away from home. Take over 1.5. That's your 6 and 60.
This is the time. That's exactly how he did it. 59-34. Well done, Carmine.
Wow.
Comment below. What are we going? 6-0.
This
6-0.
This 6 and 60 was brought to you by Blue Chew. Blue Chew, when you need to last more than 60 seconds.
Carm really wants that sponsorship.
We actually, that would be the craziest sponsorship to ever get for a segment. Like,
get bricked up for the 6 and 60.
Carm doesn't go over 60 seconds at all when he does this show, but if he wants to, sponsored by. If you want this segment to go longer than 60 seconds, make sure you chew this tablet. Call your doctor if your plays are cashing.
Yes. Dan, send me that clip. I am going to email Blue Chew today with the clip and see if they will sponsor the show.
Dude, when I was walking my dog yesterday, my wife and I were walking our dog, and we looked down, and like in the street there was like a wrapper for a Blue Chew, and I was like, "Who's banging in the street with Blue Chews?" So that's California for you, Carm. Maybe we'll work in a sponsorship, a Redondo Beach sponsor.
Yeah, or just I'll just ask him for tickets to the Super Bowl, and you and I go for the Bills and Eagles Super Bowl. I think that's a great idea. What do you think, Andrew?
I mean, if they have room for a couple of us, then I'm down to go,
But you're a Green Bay Packers fan. They're going to get knocked out in the second round of the playoffs.
I like life experiences. And if the Packers don't do well this year, I'm just going to blame the injury bugs. So, hey, it happens to us every year. It's all good.
It's all good. I like it, Andrew. And you're dressed to the nines today. Very, very nice of you. While I'm wearing my PuckTime shirt, you're dressed as the perfect.
Does this kind of remind you of Charlie Sheen? This is kind of like a Charlie Sheen sort of, You see like the
No,
different.
you need like the bowling stripes down the middle.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So Bruce says, why not just Ducks, Vegas Golden Knights full game over? Well, sometimes you get goals in the first period and then it just dies after that. We've seen it happen plenty of times in games. Like, Andrew, you look at some of the games yesterday, and I just want to try and pop some of them up where we saw scoring in the first period. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, and then the games just seem to fizzle out. You look at the Canes game, and yeah, it was a 6 there. They got 5, and then only 2 after that. But you look at a couple of the other games, New Jersey and Montreal. Dude, your Habs, they almost pulled it off. They almost pulled it off again. Your
They
Montreal.
were winning 4-3 or 3-2. They choked.
Yeah.
They choked.
But they picked up, and this isn't a bad thing. It sounds bad. They picked up the all-important loser point. If you're going to lose a game, lose it in OT.
Yeah.
Instead of losing regulation, because those single points mean so much. So
did you see the goalie after the game, Carm? It was kind of going viral across social media. I don't know if you saw it, but there were 2 instances yesterday, guys, in the NHL, and I think it's important for people to if you're an athlete, or if you're a banker, or if you're a healthcare worker, or if you do shows like us, whatever you do for work, it's important to check on your friends. Because I'll tell you, Carm, between Jakob Dobish yesterday and Ryan O'Reilly, both of those players looked unusually upset, and they were very hard on themselves. Dobish was about to cry. He was crying. It was November 6th. He was fighting back tears that he felt like he lost his team the game, and he didn't really want to do the media, but he felt it was the right thing to do. I've never seen anything like it. And then I watched the Ryan O'Reilly. Carm, this guy said to the media, I'm pathetic right now. I'm a joke. And I really have only ever had one good year in my whole career. And he was just being so hard on himself. I'll tell you what, guys, check on your friends. These guys are athletes, but that was hard to watch. Some of those interviews that I watched last night, really hard to watch. So you want to know why we love hockey, Carm? Because these guys care, man. These guys care. Shout out to Dan's boy, Ben Simmons. More games sat on the bench than actually played in an actual game. Because I know
Ben Simmons my boy.
I don't even care.
Ben Simmons has never been my boy. I will never claim Ben Simmons.
But these guys care, though, man. I'll tell you, that was really sad to see. But anyway, Carm, I had to touch on that because if you guys were able to see that, any of you diehard hockey fans, I'm sure you'll see it pop up on your feed. November 6th, Carm, and these guys are acting like they just lost the Stanley Cup Finals. That's passion, man. But also, we all know it's not really a long-term recipe for success, especially for your mental health. If Dobish is like pretty much crying, and people are calling him names, whatever, but you can just tell that's how much the game means to him.
Some of these players carry their hearts on their sleeves, so that's just the way it is. Their whole lives have been centered around hockey and winning, and when they lose a game, you let one in, you feel like you let the team down. So that's always going to happen. You look at some of the plays last night before we're done. We have a little bit of time, but some of the plays, the hit. I think it was the hit in the Carolina game that took out the Carolina player. I think I don't know who the guy was that got he got a 5-minute major and a match penalty for the hit. Let's see if I can bring it up. That was a nasty one because he had time to slow down. It was Pitlick who got an illegal check to the head, 5 minutes plus another 10 and plus another 5 for fighting as well too. Stahl quickly, give him credit. He came in, he got the instigator penalty. He stood up for his guy, but it's weird, Andrew, because we talk about this stuff in sports, which a lot of people won't talk about on shows. But like my wife was asking or talking to me the other day, because we're watching some of these things, and she's like, "Do you ever notice how many football players, as opposed to baseball players, kill themselves. And I know you don't want to talk about this stuff, but the CTE is a big part of it. You know what I mean? The NFL. You know, we see the weird stuff. You see the things like with Antonio Brown. If you just look at Antonio Brown's, and I know this is a hockey show, his Twitter feed, it is the weirdest Twitter or X feed you're ever going to see. It is so odd. But with that said, let's get back to hockey. Guys, I want to know, you guys drop a comment, not in the live chat, if you're watching this a little later, in the comment section. Let me know how I'm going to do in 6 and 60 this week. If I can get the swag in by next week, then I will pick someone from all the correct answers in our chat. Not this chat, but the after the video is posted. If you pick, 1 and 5, and I go 1 and 5, and there's 5 of you guys, I will pick one of the 5, and you'll get some swag. So, with that said, Andrew, anything you want to add? You got a show tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Every game on the board, every single game on the board for Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. I do like today's card. So we got a 3-pack going. One of those plays is a 4% best bet. We have CFL playoffs are tomorrow, guys. Looking forward to that. Divisional finals. You guys can get my best bet in the CFL as well. And then the Grey Cup, the championships are coming up. Look, if you guys don't like the CFL, you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Just cash a ticket with me. That's all I ask of you. So join me with that. Other than that, Carm, looking forward to a good weekend, man. NFL doing pretty well here. We got a 20-7 run with NFL player props, so it's going pretty well. Hopefully keep that going, man. So that's it for me, man. I'm all set. Anything you want to promote, Carm, and then take us home, man.
Yeah, a couple games today in soccer this afternoon. 2-0 yesterday in soccer. 3 best bets for tomorrow in soccer off all 4% plays. It's the last weekend before the international break, where it's the last round of qualifying for next year's World Cup. And great news, I got an email this morning from FIFA saying I won the FIFA lottery for tickets. So
No way.
On November the 12th, I will be able to log in my time slot and buy tickets. The only location I can buy them for is for the country I live in. So I'll be buying the ones at BMO Field here in Toronto, where Canada will be playing their games. And then if Italy somehow decides they want to qualify for the World Cup, which they haven't done the last 2 World Cups, maybe I'll get lucky and they'll get stuck in Canada as well too. So I'm looking forward to it because I don't have to pay those damn prices. I'm going to have some college football up. Swept last Saturday in college football. Had a winning Sunday in NFL. I'm going to have those up as well too. Today, pick up that Weekend Warrior or pick up a 3-day all-access pass and get everything I release. Some monster games this weekend. I'm going to have a bunch of plays going across all sports, whether it's hockey, whether it's soccer, whether it's college football or NFL. This is going to be a big weekend, and I want to make sure it is a big winning weekend for clients. So head over to wt.buzz/CB. Andrew, anything else? What do you have uploaded? Anything for tonight in NHL, and take us home?
I already mentioned we're all good. We are good. We are ready to go here, guys. Thanks for watching. Really fun and jam-packed live chat today. Guys, comment below again. Anytime goal scorers, and if you think Carm's going to go 5-1, 1-5, 3-3, what is he going to go? 6 and 60? Let us know. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on Monday, same time, same place. All the best.